1, 2, 3. Hi guys, this is Mike, and in today's Wizard of Odds Academy video, I'm going to show you how to calculate the odds in the Pick 3 and the Pick 4 games in the Texas lottery. A lot of states have this game. Why Texas? Because it's the second biggest state, and in California they have very oddball rules about pari-mutuel jackpots. So I prefer to just keep it simple, so we'll go with Texas. I am not going to be going over the Summit Up bets in this video. I plan to do that in an upcoming video because those bets are a little bit more mathematically complicated. So in the Pick 3 game, the player and the lottery will pick 3 numbers from 0 to 9 with replacement. With replacement means that after a number is picked, they put that number back in the drum and it can potentially be picked again. So first let's talk about the exact bet. There we go. If you choose exact on your lottery ticket, that means that you have to get your numbers in the exact order. For example, if you picked 7, 5, 2, then the only way to win would be if the lottery chose 7, 5, 2 in that exact order. What are the chances of winning with an exact ticket? Well, the chances of getting the first number correct are obviously 1 in 10. Then the chances of getting the second number right are also 1 in 10. And the chances of getting the third number right are also 1 in 10. So the probability of winning an exact ticket in the Pick 3 lottery are 1 in 1,000. So let's calculate the value of that bet. If you were to bet $1 and won, you would win $500. Then to calculate the value, you have to multiply the win by the probability of winning. So the value of a $1 ticket is 500 divided by 1,000, which equals 50 cents. Which is pretty typical for a lottery game. They give half the prizes, half of the ticket sales and prizes, and keep half for themselves. In other words, it's a terrible bet. So let's move on to some of the other ways you can play the Pick 3 in the Texas lottery. Okay, let's go on to talking about the any tickets. The any tickets mean that the player will win if the state draws his chosen numbers in any order. It doesn't matter, as opposed to an exact ticket where the order must be exactly the same. So before I go any further, let me real quickly introduce the factorial function. N factorial, for example, simply means 1 times 2 times 3 all the way up to n. 5 factorial would be 1 times 2 times 3 times 4 times 5, which is equal to 120. That said, if the player chooses 3 unique numbers, and they must be unique, for example 573, that means that there are 6 unique ways to order these 3 numbers. Therefore, the probability of winning would be the number of winning combinations by the state, which would be 6, and I'll list them real quick for you: 357, 375, 537, 573, and 735, 753. And from the last part, I showed you that the total number of combinations that the state can draw is 1,000 because 10 times 10 times 10 equals 1,000. So there's your probability of winning, 6 divided by 1,000. If you do win, you win $80. So to calculate the expected value of a ticket, again, multiply what you get if you win times the probability of winning. 80 times 6 is 480. And we still have that 1,000 in the denominator. So 480 divided by 1,000 is 0.48, meaning that the player can expect to get back 48% of whatever he bet, and the state keeps the other 52%. I might remind you that if you pick an exact ticket, you get back 50 cents on the dollar. So if you're comfortable with betting more, rather than doing an any ticket, say with 573, you would be better off to do exact tickets all 6 ways. And I believe you can do that on your actual ticket by just checking off the box option, which means to do what I like to call a round robin. In other words, order those numbers in every possible way. So again, the any ticket, choosing 3 different numbers, has an expected return of 48%. Next, let's talk about the any ticket where the player picks 2 different digits. For example, 757. He picked 1 digit twice and 1 digit once. So what is the probability of winning this on an any ticket? Well, how many combinations can cause this to win? 577. The 5 can be in the middle, so 757. And the 5 could be at the end, 775. So there are 3 winning ways you can win this ticket. If you pick an any ticket with 2 distinct numbers and win, then you get $160. The probability of winning is the number of winning combinations the state can draw, 3, divided by the total number of combinations of 1,000, which I already explained. 160 times 3 is 480. 480 divided by 1,000 is 0.48, or 48%. So much like the any ticket with 3 unique numbers, the player can expect to get back 48% of his bet, and the state will keep the other 52%. So given that if the player picks an exact ticket, his expected return is 50%. If you absolutely must play the pick 3, I would recommend that you do an exact ticket as opposed to an any ticket. So next, let's go on to analyzing the pick 4 game. Before I go any further, let me explain the combinations function. That is expressed like this in writing and expressed verbally as x choose y, and it equals x factorial divided by y factorial divided by x minus y factorial. And what is the purpose of this, you might ask? Well, let's look at an example I've drawn before. If you buy the 3-piece meal at El Pollo Loco, they let you choose any 3 side dishes out of 8. And let's say that you don't like to pick the same side dish twice or all 3 times, that you like to pick 3 different things. How many days could you go without picking the same thing twice, assuming that you went there once a day? Well, the answer is 8 choose 3, which is equal to 8 factorial divided by 3 factorial divided by 5 factorial, which is equal to 56. Now, another way this comes in handy is what is the number of possible ways you could pick 5 playing cards out of 52? Well, that answer is 552 factorial divided by 47 factorial divided by 5 factorial, which equals 2,598,960. So now that we have covered the combinations function, we can resume talking about the any tickets in the Pick 4 lottery. Moving right along, let's talk about the any tickets in the Pick 4 game in the Texas lottery. If the player picks a combination like 3, 3, 7, 3, where he picks one digit 3 times and another digit once, the amount he will win on a $1 ticket is $1,200. So to get the expected value, multiply that win by the probability of winning, which is the number of ways to win divided by the total number of possible ball draws by the state. The number of winning ball draws, and again, the order doesn't matter, is 4, because if the state draws 3 3s and 1 7, that 7 can be in any one of the 4 positions. So the expected value is 4 times 1,200, which is 4,800, divided by 10,000, or 0.48. So the player can expect to get back 48% of whatever he bet, and the state keeps the other 52%. What if the player picks a combination like 3, 7, 3, 7? If the player wins with 2 different digits where each one is represented twice, he'll win $800 on a $1 ticket. How many ways can the player win? Well, as I just explained, with the combinations function, the number of ways the player can win is 4 choose 2, because those 2 3s, for example, could be chosen in any 2 of the 4 positions. In other words, how many ways can the state pick those 2 3s in any of the 4 balls? And then divide that by 10,000. So 4 choose 2 is 6, and I'll prove it to you. Let me just write them down. The state could choose 3, 3, 7, 7, 3, 7, 3, 7, 3, 7, 7, 3, 7, 3, 3, 7, 7, 3, 7, 3, and 7, 7, 3, 3. So you can see 6 different combinations. So 800 times 6 is again 4,800 divided by, that's a 0, 10,000 is equal to, again, 0.48. So again, the player can expect to get back 48% of whatever he bet. And what if the player chooses something like 5, 5, 2, 8? Well, if the player wins with on an any ticket with a draw like that, he can expect to win $400. How many ways can the player win? Well, those 2 5s can be in 6 different combinations. 4 choose 2. Then once you've chosen those two positions for the 5, then there are two ways you can choose the 2 and the 8 because they're different. You could choose the 2 first and then the 8, or the 8 first and then the 2. So there's two ways to order the 2 and the 8. And again, 10,000 possible combinations. So 4 choose 2 is 6, as I explained before. Times 2 is 12. So we're back to 1200. 1200 times 4 is 4800. That's a 0. And again, there's 10,000 possible ways the state can draw the numbers. So again, the expected value is 0.48 or 48%. So on any ticket in the, well, I forgot to do the final way. The player could also pick four unique numbers. If the player does that and wins, he'll win $200. There are 4 factorial ways that the player can win, as explained in the part about the Pick 3 lottery. 4 factorial is equal to 24. 24 times 200 is again 4,800. So again, our expected value is 0.48 or 48%. So, and any ticket in the Pick 4 lottery, no matter how you arrange your numbers, is always worth 48% of whatever you bet. So, much like the Pick 3 lottery, I would recommend that you do an exact ticket as opposed to an any ticket, because that pays 2% more. Or better yet, don't play at all. So that is it when it comes to the Pick 3 and the Pick 4 games. Again, I'm not covering the sum it up options in this video. I'm going to do that in a separate video. So thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.